Hey guys, just a small reminder that I will be going live today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I ran across Neytiri and Solar. They did a live stream on Instagram yesterday, which was Friday. But I just wasn't feeling the energy. It just seemed like something wasn't quite right. I definitely see that Solar, you can see it all over his face. He's definitely struggling with something. What he's struggling with, I cannot say because I'm not inside of Solar, but I just was getting this energy from Solar that he wasn't that bubbly personality that we see on social media. Um, Neytiri, she was putting on her game face. You know, she does it well. I'm just wondering how long this relationship's gonna last. It appears to the community, and I have to agree to it too. It appears, in my opinion, that Neytiri is probably the breadwinner. There has never been a time since I've been reporting on carbonation that we knew of Solar coming with a Social Security or SSDI check. Um, Maybe he did drop some money at the beginning of his journey. However, right now, I think that the breadwinner right now, the one that probably has the most pressure on her, is Neytiri. I know that's probably shock from hearing it from me, but you got to give credit when credit's due. I don't know who is the one that's being the provider, but it just seems to me that Neytiri has herself together more so than Solar. She's definitely a money maker. She comes out of a lot of rough situations. We've seen her do it numerous times with Natureboy, and she comes out victorious because she has a business. She's really artistic. So is Solar, but she makes things that women like to buy, like fragrant soaps and candles, and stuff like that. She does her little tarot readings. She knows how to get on social media and hustle. Now, I don't know if Solar is putting on a front. To make a long story short, I don't know if he's still going through his feelings and emotions.
How you
Anyway,
never
and I'll
go
be
into the
and I'll be
tomorrow
like,
shit,
and
right?
then we'll just be watching a movie, and then we'll be watching a movie, getting something to eat, or about to go to the movies.
Because she
and
fixed
I
the
know I'm
problem
grounded,
before the next day.
and I know I'm grounded. That's not why.
No, it is
that's
why.
not why. No, because we have many very open-ended things to this day, and it's okay. What she showed me was that tomorrow is a new day. We don't have to sabotage tomorrow. And what I'm trying to say is that even though I was punished and I went through these situations with her, the next day she'll be like, "Don't worry about it. Come on, we're going to the movies."
On the fact that Zoka and him are not going to be together. Keep in mind, yes, he was partnered together with Zoka through Natureboy, but I'm quite sure some sort of feelings came out of that relationship because of the time that they spent together in the Eusta factor. I think that they have more history than Neytiri, and I want to see how this plays out. Now, if Zoka ends up snapping out of this reprogramming, is Solar going to want to introduce Zoka into the picture so that he can at least feel complete for the moment? I don't think that he feels complete right now with Neytiri. I think that Neytiri is wanting more from Solar than Solar can give. Um, like I said, again, Neytiri is good at putting the game face on. There's things that Neytiri wants, and she wants it right now, and that's respected. I think that if Solar seems to be more of a burden and a liability to Neytiri, I believe Neytiri will have her eyes on the next best thing. She does meet people in this conscious community that are well off. Yada being one of them. Natureboy, as we all know, was a complete fraud. I mean, he was let Solar tell it with what, $60,000 to his name, but this man was all around social media saying he was a social media guru, which we know that's farther from the truth. But I don't wish any ill will on neither one of them. If this relationship and them loving each other, not in love, But if this relationship is going to work, I'm all for it. I just want them to heal, not to backpedal back to carbonation, and not allow history to repeat itself, because right now is time for them to really be healing and getting their life right, so that the next generation that comes after them, we're not repeating the same pattern and they're not following the same footsteps as their parents.
Anything that would limit you from considering anything that's a part of the source that you are, anything that would limit that connection. Those things are obstacles and blockages somewhere in the chakras. And it's going to show up in one level, one frequency of your life. Now, when you can deal with these things with yourself through shadow work, which is just introspective work. Light work is when you're going out, giving out light.
Neytiri wants all the things that all women want. And I just feel like right now, I hope that behind closed doors, she's not putting any pressure on Solar, and vice versa. I hope, because right now they really should be healing. And I know that that might sound not tasteful to the public, that I would give my opinion and say that, because nobody wants to be alone. But sometimes we have to sit with ourselves when we are in these kind of situations, because of the simple fact that we just got out of an unhealthy situation of being controlled, manipulated, brainwashed, abused, and everything under the sun that did not spell out the word love, and not the way love's supposed to feel like. And right now, I think that it's the time for them to reconnect with themselves. Remember, because I know they forgot, they've lost themselves along the way. Remember who they are, what they stand for, what they're not going to stand for. Start loving themselves, identifying what love is, what it's supposed to feel like, then get into a relationship. And maybe because of the circumstances that they both came from, maybe they can come together and be together for a lifetime. But I just feel like, and it's just my opinion, from what I see from Solar, he's being an opportunist, and it's to be respected as well. He's been sheltered and held down for a lot of his life, young life, and he's playing catch up. And I know that he also feels lost. He feels betrayed, because Natureboy lived quite a bit of his life, and he, up until he got arrested, was still living his life the way he wanted to live it, even though it was in sheer mayhem. He was living the life that he wanted to live for himself, but the people around him were just co-signing that life. They were in his life. They weren't living their life, is what I'm trying to say. I think Neytiri, because I did hear in the video, somebody said something, her not even getting that they were trying to imply, was she pregnant, or is she thinking about getting pregnant by Solar? I don't think that this is what Solar is ready to do at this particular moment. I mean, if you look at this whole situation, the simplest question she asked was that, do you love me, or in love with me, or whatever. The word love was asked from Neytiri, and he started coughing like he didn't know how to explain it, where he didn't come across like he was lying. I think that he tried to respectfully answer the question, but at the end of the day, you can't just come.
You have one question to answer.
No.
Do you love me?
Oh yeah, yes, that, yeah. But I don't. I mean, yeah, I love you.
You what?
And here's the answer. She's not gonna like. Oh, 222. Look at that. Is that what I teach people to do? Is to become love itself.
From a situation like this, Solar, and make the public believe, even if you said it out your mouth. I even got attacked for saying, oh, Solar's in love with Neytiri. Well, I'm only going by what the messenger said. Do I believe it? I would think not. I have a 34-year-old son, and I mean, I think that I've been here long enough to know what is what what it is and what it's not, and not to also believe everything that I hear. But this is what Solar said out of his mouth at the time. We all know that they have been hanging around that barbershop too long. They've got a haircut. We have to accept that for what it is. You have to let these people be who they are going to be. And we have to let nature take its course. But people who are supporters of Solar and Nature Boy, please hear me out when I say this. Always remember that these people are only victims of their own circumstances. As long as they get on here and they share their dirty laundry, their personal life, what their goals and future plans are, people are always going to have something to say. And that is not a bad thing, because when you put people in your business, they stay in your business. I do commentary and have been doing commentary since 2019 on Nature Boy. And if I was going to divorce my husband, or if I was fighting with my husband, I certainly do not owe it to anyone that listens to my content an explanation of why I'm not with my husband. I'm just using myself as an example, because I never in the first place put my life out here on social media for anyone to critique it or criticize it. So you have to understand, this is the wave of the future. This is what the newer generation's doing. They're not picking up the phone or going over to their friend's house next door. They are getting online, and when they have issues, some serious, maybe some good news, this is what they use as communication when they're going through good times and bad times.